What is truly shocking is that till now there has been absolutely no action that has been taken against this minister. It's not the first time he said something this derogatory, this pervasive and this misogynistic. What has also happened, viewers, is interimly you've had the Australian cricket team's handle on the social media platform X, where they had tweeted about the incident, deleting all their tweets because they say that they've been facing constant harassment ever since they actually posted about the incident. Shocking to say the least. No action, nothing coming in where the incumbent government of Madhya Pradesh is concerned, or the party right now. I want to cut across to our two guests this evening, Ms. Brinda Adige and Ms. Lalita Kumaramangalam, former chairperson NCW, Brinda Adige, women rights activist. I want to cut across first to Ms. Lalita Kumaramangalam. Ma'am, you've been part of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and
Yes.
I'm a little appalled today that there has been no action that has been taken against Mr. Vijayvargiya. Absolutely nothing. Stone cold silence coming in from the Madhya Pradesh government as well as the central party.
I'm as appalled as you are, Preeti. At the very least, Mr. Vijayvargiya should be made to apologize for the people whose feelings he's hurt. And this is not just the cricketers. When you're in a position of power or influence, you really need to watch what you're saying. When I was young, my father used to say, bite your tongue. I think more often than not, our politicians must learn that when you are talking on sensitive topics, please do not just rattle off whatever you think will get you out of hot water. In this case, I found his remarks not only insensitive and very, very patriarchal, but and victim shaming. These are the normal words we use. A politician who has been elected to rule, whether the ruling party or the opposition or any other party, must understand that a huge number of people have put their trust in him. Many of those people are women who have voted for him. Imagine the disappointment and the fear now, or the apprehension that girls may have in that part of the country, Madhya Pradesh, that a minister has said something like this. Couldn't he have stopped with saying that, yes, this should not have happened? Victim shaming is ridiculous. It's the usual, what we say, cover that people use to hide the faults in the system. In this case, whoever did the abuse of these young girls, he's been arrested, but that's not the point. When a man like Kailash Vijayvargiya, who is such an influential person in the government, comes up with an extremely, I don't know how to say it, ridiculous, patriarchal, extremely sometimes frightening statement to people, to girls who are walking on the road in perfectly, we have the freedom to do so. This is a democracy. At the very least, Mr. Vijayvargiya should apologize, not just to the two Australian football players who were assaulted, but to all the women who have been hurt by what he said. More than hurt, scared. I can't use the word I want to use now on TV, but really scared. Even women like me, I have a 12-year-old granddaughter. Somebody turns around and tells me if she's walking down the street in her school uniform, which is basically a skirt and a blouse, that she's dressed inappropriately, therefore she has been abused. I would probably slap that man. I'm sorry. I'm in a position to be able to talk so strongly and perhaps follow up on it. But most women are not. So politicians have a responsibility, and in this case, it's a shame that he belongs to a ruling party and seems to have got away with it. At the very least, I request the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh to ask or make Kailash Vijayvargiya apologize, or at least explain and apologize why he said what he said.
It's not just about an apology. I think strong action now needs to be taken because this individual, this man, who's got gutter level thinking, has gotten away way too long. This is not the first time Kailash Vijayvargiya has said something this derogatory and this sexist, this misogynist. And he is a man who occupies a very powerful office where it comes down to the cabinet where Madhya Pradesh is concerned. So Brinda Adige, my question is, because ultimately it gets down to between one government or the other that your molestation is bigger than my molestation. But having said that today, if one doesn't hear not condemnation but action coming in, what's the message that we are sending across not just in our country, but internationally.
Not only condemnation, but like Mrs. Lalita said, he requires to be made to apologize to all Indians because of his sexist, misogynistic, regressive, retrograde statement. All of us have to hang our heads in shame. He made that statement that these women should have reported to the administration, told somebody, and if they are going out. Does he not know that it is his responsibility, his government's responsibility, the state's responsibility to ensure at least 10-kilometer radius from that hotel, there is patrolling that is increased, that there is more security? Because we have people from abroad and they are playing in our country, in the state where this man has been elected into power. Instead of doing and saying all of those kind of things and being, feeling sorry that something like this happened in Indore, this man is going around blaming women just like he has been doing all along. His party leaders also must hang their heads in shame, because this is the kind of elected representative our citizens have elected into power. These are guys who are making our laws and policies for protection of women, for protection of children. And we are a country who always pride ourselves that the guests who come into our country are like gods. So we treat them with respect, with dignity. How dare he make such a statement? And like you mentioned, he may get away, and so it is important to set an example. I'm hoping that my Prime Minister and his party leaders.
But Ms. Kumaramangalam, I want to bring you back into this conversation, because as much as it that we can keep delving into and talk about, we should have strengthened security around, the hotel that they were in. They should have been patrolling, and they should have been. There's nothing wrong with what Brinda Adige is saying, but this is a true reality check on what young girls face every day on the streets of India, small towns, big cities, and this is the mindset of our ruling class, because this team was an Australian team. The incident was highlighted by them. This is an everyday situation for a young girl walking out alone.
I agree, and I don't think it's always just young girls. Unfortunately, in this country, eve teasing is...
I agree.
Sorry? Unfortunately, in this country...
I agree, ma'am. You're right. It's not just young girls. It could be any woman.
No, and any ruling party, regardless of their political beliefs, etc., needs to make sure that, at the very least, as Brinda Adige said, when we have guests, these are guests of honor. They've come to play a tournament. They should have been provided security. It's not the job of the guest to say, I'm going to shop or going for a walk or whatever else. It's the job of the security to make sure that they are there to protect them when they need to be protected. Yes, I agree. It is a crying shame that in this country, even today, for all the big talk across the, across parties, states, etc., women still are at such severe risk. Women, young girls, etc., are at severe risk, right from birth, I think, up to the point that they pass away. But all of us know it. So any party that is in power, regardless, must make sure, and here I say it again, I agree with Brinda said, must make sure that the security is in place. I'm not saying generally we do not need to step up our security of girls and women in this country. I'm saying in this particular situation, unfortunately, and it is my party that's in power there, so I say this with a great deal of regret and shame. Unfortunately, they did not have adequate security in place. These are everyday happenings, as you pointed out, Preeti, and everybody knows it. So a state government needs to make sure that when they have an international tournament where women are playing, those women, their security is adequately taken care of. It is a fault of the government, and when a minister of that government, a senior minister, turns around and makes a statement where he more or less absolves the government of blame and actually tries to victim shame, then it's not only deeply regretful, it's also, like I said, it's very frightening. Where is the security for women, for all the shows we have and come and, agitate on TV, for all the work that is done by so many women across the last 70 years or so? Where is the security for women? Over and over again, I mean, all over again, we go through this in a month at least 2 or 3 times. I'm saying this on some issue or the other, whether it's dowry, whether it's eve teasing, whether it's molestation, whether it's rape. We just don't seem to be able to move forward. There is something intrinsically wrong in the system. We need to take a very deep look at the system, and with rose-colored spectacles off, we need to look at ourselves, not just always find blame with the other side. We need to all sit down and make sure that at least today or from
Right.
as soon as possible, the systemic changes are also affected. Otherwise, this pathetic, dread, I mean,
Right.
absolutely horrible story will
No,
just keep
and
repeating itself.
but Brinda Adige, where is the collective outrage? Because that's always missing. The sheer fact that we haven't seen a cross-party line outrage on a comment as sexist, deeply misogynistic and troubling as this, that hasn't happened. It's not big enough right now for the government of Madhya Pradesh to actually take notice and condemn this statement, leave alone the party back in Delhi to actually take strong action against one of its own leaders.
Absolutely right. There is no outrage from the government, but on the flip side, what this man stated just goes to show that no place is safe for women, certainly not the streets of Madhya Pradesh. And so he is reiterating and saying public spaces are not safe for women. So women don't come out onto the streets. And that is the most shameful statement reiterated by an elected representative. You're asking about public outrage on this particular case, but where is the outrage from the state government or from public when there are women and girls molested, sexually harassed, raped, and murdered on a daily basis? There is no outrage because you have leaders of this nature who continue to make these retrograde, regressive statements, and so impunity continues. There is no fear of law. There is continuously statements being made, even by the judiciary. You marry this person, write an essay, it is okay, boys will be boys, men will be men. We never pull up anybody. I'm not talking only about this minister, but I'm talking about elected representatives and political leaders across parties where we've always absolved them, never held them accountable for this kind of loose statements, neither by their parties nor by the state, and sadly, not even by us citizens.
Right. I just want to take the last couple of minutes of your time, and I want to bring in Lalita Kumaramangalam first, and then Brinda Adige, because what's the way ahead, Lalita Kumaramangalam? And I'm not talking generically, but in this particular case, how does one ensure that it's not an apology that one needs, but strong action that one takes? And what I take great heart in today, Lalita Kumaramangalam, is because you come from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and to say it for what it is commendable, which many of your party ilk are not doing so.
Preeti, this is not the time for me to pat myself on the back. I don't feel particularly nice about what happened at all. Most politicians have very big egos. To make the man apologize will be a big thing. Believe me, I'm a member of a political party. I know this extremely well. The state government must issue an apology. If Mr. Vijayvargiya does not do it himself, a senior person in the government of Madhya Pradesh must apologize not just to those particular girls, but may also say that it is not correct that such statements are made. Because unless we start with a public acceptance or a public apology, we are not going to go anywhere. Normally, most people don't like to apologize when they've made a mistake. But in this case, I think that's the first step. And moving forward, like I said, we need to look at the system, systemic problems we have. It's not a small job; it's a huge job, and it has to start somewhere in some state. I hope at least every time, like I say, I'm on TV at least 3 times a month talking about what has happened to women, something that should never have happened that happens. And it keeps happening over and over again, whether it is in Kashmir or Madhya Pradesh or Tamil Nadu or anywhere else. It's sort of repetitively women keep getting abused, killed, raped,
Right.
etc., etc. So we must sit down, and I think everybody
Right.
needs to sit down
I
together
want to, right.
and look at systemic changes that
I
have
want
to
to get
be
in.
put in place.
I want to get in. Yeah. Brinda Adige to come in. Brinda Adige, if you could encapsulate, because we can talk about the how we're going to fix it, which never gets fixed because the issue quite remains the same, and there is absolute bizarre statements that are made time in and time again. But I'd bring you in this particular case, Brinda Adige. How does one put enough pressure on the Madhya Pradesh government or on the party, which is the Bharatiya Janata Party, to actually take tangible action?
I think it is media channels like you who are the best to put that kind of a pressure. But that said, I think it is important that the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister show that there will be consequences if these kind of talk are continuously spewed by members from his party. And that consequences is not something that you're saying, okay, I'm going to take action against him. You have disciplinary clauses, you have guidelines within your party manifestos, and that is something you must put on place. You must not be afraid to put somebody where they are meant to be, so that you teach a lesson to others and say such action, such behavior and derogatory speech against women citizens of our nation and guests who come into our nation is absolutely unacceptable. And that disciplinary action, they shouldn't be afraid to take against these people, because otherwise they always will keep getting away, because there's nobody who's going to register any other complaint against them. Even the Australian cricketers, somebody might say, oh, we are going to register an FIR or whatever. But it is the party's job, the state government's responsibility. Otherwise, who else will you hold accountable? Nobody is held accountable. And this kind of behavior will continue, and people, especially the perpetrators, will think, okay, why should I fear the law? Let's go on. So the state government of Madhya Pradesh, the chief minister, must put his foot down and ensure that disciplinary action is taken against this man within the party at least.
Right. Well, I appreciate both you ladies for joining us. Thank you there. Well, we on our end are going to do what we can, and that is two men are answerable today on why no action has been taken against Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya. And that is Party President of the BJP, Mr. J.P. Nadda, and the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Mohan Yadav. Thank you for joining us on this debate.